So we get some good news. And I got to admit, this is I call a lot of shots. I did not call this one. Chuck Schumer rolled over right away, and he's going to, looks like, cave completely on the CR funding measures. And that's always interesting. It makes you wonder why he's caving. Maybe things are not quite as good as they appear. But let me give you just the whole background of this. But a CR, continuing resolution, it's always necessary only when the Congress does not get its job done. Congress's job is supposed to be passing 12 appropriation bills each fiscal year, which goes end of September to end of September. That's the fiscal year. And the vote on each separately, this makes it so that we can scrutinize to some degree how taxpayer money is spent. I would love it if we could scrutinize every single line item in a budget, but that's not realistic when we have as much budget as we have. So for decades, Congress always runs out of time. It's very clear that this is intentional. And then they try to combine everything into a package, all 12 appropriations. They call that an omnibus, which is absolutely makes my skin crawl. One of the worst parts of American governance is our reliance and dependence on this. And sometimes they can't even get all 12 bills into one. And then that's where we get a continuing resolution, which basically extends the current spending levels. So that's where we are here. And remember, so this CR is based off of a fiscal year that started end of September, so October 1, I guess, and when Biden was president. So this was kind of on him. But what happens a lot in election years is the can gets kicked to the lame duck session, which is what we did here, short-term spending, and then we kick it even further down, which is where we got here. So the Democrats had another chance in December to pass something, couldn't do that, did a short-term CR. Now we're here. Now, so this one's different in a few ways, most of them good. It's similar to other CRs in some ways that are not as good, but I think it's important to get all this context. This one extends the fiscal year 2025 spending all the way through the end of fiscal year, at the end of the fiscal year, which is the end of September. So Republicans, we don't like everything in there, but Congress has always raised spending every year forever, as far as I could go back. And so this one actually reduces spending. So we like that. It's very good. So there's a funding freeze. This hasn't happened. It also does not include earmarks, which Republicans reinstated just a few years ago. We were supportive of reinstating earmarks, which is crazy. And this is something that in that Scott Perry interview I did earlier this week, the really striking moment, he said that a lot of my Republican colleagues are secretly upset this doesn't have earmarks in it. So there's some modifications to this spending bill in conservatives' favor. $485 million for ICE to continue deportations at the southern border. It also keeps the lights on at DOGE. So Trump is going to be able to continue to slash the economy and not just out of context, they're going to slash the government to boost the economy with DOGE. That's going to continue rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse, all that stuff we like. Also, through impoundment, Trump isn't obliged to spend everything that is allocated. So it's very cool. And this is something Democrats are very scared of, is that Trump might not even do all the spending that's allocated, which is already a cut, because they want government as big as possible.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.